Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of El Mexican Soccer Podcast. I'm Fernando, your host. And before we get started with the show, let me remind you to subscribe and follow us on our social media channels: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all of that good stuff. Joining me today is El Super Mojado and Edwin Cázares. Welcome, guys. How was the weekend? And do you guys enjoy any games?
What's up, Fernando? What's going on, man? No te pongas nervioso, tranquilo. We're here. Estamos entre cuates. Estamos entre cuates.
Somos puros compas, Fer. We're all friends, bro.
Órale, pues.
Yo sé que maybe, you're still agüitado aquí, que los Pumitas,
No,
se hunden
ya ni me
partido a
agüitan, güey.
partido.
Ya me
Eh,
estoy acostumbrando, eso es lo peor.
it's okay, man. La vida es alegre. You don't worry about that. Just hazle como Álvaro Morales, cámbiate de equipo.
No, yo Pumitas hasta la muerte.
No,
Aunque
pues
bueno,
entonces.
nada más ganan las Chivas unos cuantos partidos y tú ya piensas que van a ser
No, no,
campeones.
no, tranquilo, tranquilo, no nos aceleremos.
Bueno, first let's start off with seeing all the results for this past week. Was there any that surprised you guys?
Wow.
Uh, Puebla against Chivas was kind of surprised. Not gonna lie, I didn't think the game was gonna be like that. Of course, Chivas didn't capitalize the chances they had, but I think that was the only surprise. I don't know what Super thinks.
Uh, well, to be honest with you, I thought that Tigres would have done of course, yes, the Chivas is surprising. But you know what? You know what happens? Los equipos se empiezan when they have a little racha, they start winning a few games in a row or not losing for a while. They kind of like get in this relaxation mode. Se relajan los güeyes. They start like feeling like they are gonna be champions. And you know what? I think that this is for Chivas at least. It's a good time for them to like let this hiccup you know settle in, and so maybe they can take this more seriously going into the closing of the tournament. And for Tigres has just been like, ahora sí que se está cayendo, va en picada, and I think le está quedando grande el equipo a Chima Ruiz. So
Did you see the reaction of Linus and Gignac during the game?
well, the same, yeah, it's just all frustrating what's going on. They haven't gotten a victory in a while now, so it's like.
I mean, they won the first game, and they also won the past game, barely 1-0.
That's true,
So
but they're
Well,
not playing well. They're
I
not playing.
think
That's
that
what
whole
it is.
frustration also carries from CONCACAF. It was a game they should have won. They controlled most of the game. They were at home, and they ended up tying 0-0, right? So now they
yeah,
go into the weekend hoping to start getting better results. They go against an important team, which is America, and they end up losing. So now they have to come to the United States and try to, get a result, which I'm sure it's not going to be an easy task. So definitely Tigres is showing that they're getting frustrated, and I think that's bad that they're showing their frustration because that could end up costing them.
I mean, also again, it's one of the things where we have to understand that Chima Ruiz is not a coach that's experienced. Yeah, he was a coach of the youth teams of Mexico. He's been assistant coach for Tuca, assistant coach for Diego Coca. He has a little bit of experience on that end, but at the end of the day, it's his first tournament as an official actual head coach of a team. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's not easy to try and control all the egos, all that big locker room that Tigres has. At the end of it's just one of those things where either you succeed or you are gonna sink yourself down to the river and go back to as an assistant coach. It's only been a couple of games, man. It hasn't been nothing bad. America had that urgency of being able to get a win and y mantener el barco otra vez a flote, porque el Tan Ortiz se le estaba yendo también el América, pero para mí en realidad creo que estamos haciendo todo un mar, un oleaje en un vaso de agua. Creo que el Chima Ruiz es un técnico capaz y va a poder manejar este ego. Es solamente cuestión de manejar el vestidor, manejar los egos, porque todos sabemos que hay muchos egos muy grandes en ese vestidor de Tigres.
We'll go more into detail on those games that we're talking about right now. Let's just look at the standings real quick before we continue talking about the games, and just kind of to set see where every team is at. Monterrey, they keep controlling the league, 28 points. They're 7 points ahead of Toluca, which is surprising. And then you got, I mean, Tigres and Chivas lost, but they still remain in the first four, which is good. I'm pretty sure you're happy for that, Super. And well, I mean, Cruz Azul ends up going to ninth. America still not at the top four, but it's they're getting back their form. And then Pachuca les costó haber perdido contra Monterrey. Uh, Otra cosa que me duele que los Pumas ya terminaron hasta el lugar 14. Uh, it was expected. I don't know what you guys think about this table.
Well, I don't know about Super, but if you look from the second place all the way to the sixth, the seventh, there's only a 3 point difference. You see the consistency or inconsistency of the league, and how a win can either put you on the first four or drop you down to ninth.
Simon, no, I agree with you. I think that I mean, it's gonna be a really tough closing of the tournament, because anybody could end, in those, at least those first places, the second, third, and fourth. Monterrey, I mean, they have been, just consistent, and I just think they're, since I think since the start of the tournament, I've had a feeling that Monterrey was gonna, be a really one of the contenders to be in the finals. So and Bucetich just has done an excellent job with the team, and then it's like I said, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for the remaining three spots that can secure you at least the el pase al directo a la liguilla.
I mean, I didn't get to watch the game, but the result seems pretty straightforward. Monterrey fue mucho más superior a Pachuca. What are your thoughts on the? Uh,
A ver,
well, that's why I
Fernando,
didn't watch the game, but that's why
how
I
are
was
you
gonna
gonna
ask
say
you.
that the Monterrey fue superior a Pachuca si dices que no viste el partido?
Por eso te iba a preguntar, ¿qué me puede decir el partido? What did you
It, it
think?
was it was a really enjoyable game, honestly. By minute 21, it was tied already 1-1. Pachuca had hit the post twice. Yo estoy muy de acuerdo con lo que dice el profe Almada al final de la rueda de prensa. Fue una derrota muy injusta para Pachuca. Pachuca fue superior en el partido durante varios lapsos. Creo que podemos llegar a ese tema después de un buen rato acerca de la Chofis, pero creo que para mí sigue siendo un jugador que debería estar en selección mexicana desde esta convocatoria. Un gran nivel que está trayendo, igual que Kevin Álvarez, igual que Luis Chávez. Para mí Pachuca durante del minuto 1 al minuto 15 fue superior, después Monterrey nivela las cosas y en el segundo tiempo igual Pachuca por 20 minutos es superior y sigue llegando, pero le sigue costando, igual que no tiene un 9 que meta esas oportunidades. Monterrey tuvo pocos tiros al arco, pero logró capitalizar dos en los que se va con ventaja y se termina llevando el partido, pero para mí fue una derrota muy injusta para Pachuca.
Any thoughts on the game, Super? Were you able to watch it?
I did see not the whole game, but I did see okay, it was a good match. It was a good match for the time that I watched. I did see what you said, Edwin, that it was back and forth, right? And I honestly thought that Pachuca was gonna come back and like take this match, but but these are just two great teams, man. Because I definitely see Pachuca uh fighting for that top four spots, that and or three spots if you want to call it. Ahí se está separando un poquito Monterrey ya, con 7 puntos de diferencia from the second place. So I think that Pachuca, I definitely see them, man, in the top four spots.
So the thing with Pachuca is that in the past few weeks they've just been inconsistent, right?
But
They lose a
it's
game.
normal.
No, yeah, it's normal, but I mean,
Well,
these are
yeah, they've
they
lost 3 out of the last 5, so
and
it's
they
just.
they they lose against the teams that they're gonna essentially play in La Liguilla, right? Except for America. America, they destroyed America, but that's something completely different. We'll see how Pachuca. I'm not saying that Pachuca is not gonna be a contender anymore because they are a strong team and I think they're gonna end up being in the semifinals. But these are the type of games that they're gonna have to end up winning to if they want to get a bicampeonato. Um,
But
I'll read a
also
comment.
you gotta see all the teams, all the players that Pachuca has let go in the past tournaments is still have been contenders. In the last tournament, they let Aceves go to Spain. We got rid of some players that weren't playing as much. Now ahora ya se integró el delantero que estaba en el AFC en el anterior. Ahora se está integrando poco a poco, ya ha tenido algunos minutos. El colombiano ya está a punto yo pienso que está a punto de robarle la titularidad a Robert de la Rosa, porque seamos sinceros, por más de que esté en selección mexicana, Robert de la Rosa no es jugador titular en Pachuca, no es jugador de selección mexicana y no es un jugador que te dé el ancho como para llegar a cubrir el hueco que te dejó Ibáñez salirse a Tigres. Para mí creo que es crucial esta siguiente semana en donde Pachuca tenga una victoria como visitante para poder encarar el torneo y llegar de mejor manera a la siguiente mitad del torneo, mitad del campeonato. Pero veremos cómo está. Sabemos que los equipos del norte ahorita son los equipos contendientes al título, al igual que no nada más Tigres, no nada más Monterrey, tenemos a Santos también, que se lleva una victoria importantísima en contra de Cholos este fin de semana, y que quieran o no, calladitos, pero también apuntan para tener un buen torneo.
Pues mucho ojo porque Pachuca va contra Pumas y la tiene complicada.
Mira, vamos a ver si te ayudamos para que cambien de técnico.
Pues
I don't know, man.
la-
Do you think they're gonna ahora sí que let Rafa go? I mean, I don't know. They
I
only
wouldn't be
gave him 6 months, anyways. Why would you?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I wouldn't be surprised. Like I don't think that in the last 4 months que le quedan, but whatever, or 3 months. We'll see. We'll talk about Pumas a little bit later. Chivas this weekend.
what is there to
I
talk
think this
about?
te lo avento a ti, super. So talking about America, they defeat Tigres, and I think they're going into the Clásico in the best way possible, right? Tigres is even though they're not going through a good time, they're still a good team. They're always going to be a solid team, and now they got what they needed to go to the Clásico motivated. What do you think? Is Chivas gonna be easier o cómo ves el Clásico?
No,
Basado en lo que viste con Tigres.
I think that they couldn't gotten a better scenario to go into el Super Clásico, because Chivas eh, eh, tenía su rachita ahí, right? En esa confianza, ese exceso de confianza, I should say, probably could have hurt them in el Clásico. But here comes Puebla, I don't know where nobody was expecting this, and los they ground them again, los vuelven a poner de pie. It's like don't not get over cocky, because I'm let's still remember, you're not undefeatable. So and for America, I mean, the boost of confidence that beating Tigres, because let's remember that game specifically is become like one of the you know ahora sí que el juego a seguir en el torneo, because Tigres, it's just like I said, it's way better team than cuando lo ves en la plantilla de Chivas. And now you can say, listen, all right, we can give Chivas a good match, and we can we can take it home. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that it's just I don't remember when was since when there was another time that those two teams came in a really good moment.
But
So
also I think creo que Chivas has been more concentrated about the Clásico than even this match against Puebla before. Las declaraciones de Pocho Guzmán antes de que se jugara el partido ante Puebla, they're gonna talk on the field, that they're gonna give them hell, this and that. It's been like before, even previous this past week, los dimes y diretes entre los dos equipos, entre el técnico y los jugadores, el técnico de la América y jugadores de Chivas, al igual que ex compañeros y compañeros que han jugado juntos, se han dado. Y I think that's one of the reasons also why Chivas, it seemed like this loss against Puebla didn't really matter to them. I think they're really more concentrated right now. Paunovic is more concentrated to the game of against America. I think ese es el partido en el que se va a consolidar como técnico de Chivas si llega a lograr una victoria. Y si no, creo que se le va a criticar un poco según la manera en la que llegue a perder o llegue a empatar. Para mí, el equipo de Chivas viene en un muy buen momento. I think a better moment, even though despite the loss, I think they're right now living a better moment than even America.
Well, see, that was something that we noticed from a few weeks back, that Chivas was coming into a better moment than America, and I agree with you. That's still the case. The only thing is that America now is getting momentum, and I feel like for America, that's enough to end up beating Chivas, even if Chivas is doing better or playing better soccer. I don't remember the last time or I don't know how many years ago was when Chivas came into the Clásico as a favorito than America, and it seemed like this was gonna happen this year finally. But I feel like this weekend just kind of reverted back to what it was before. I don't know if you guys agree with me. Luis says that's the only game Chivas and the fans look forward to. Is that true, Super? ¿Ya lo tienes apuntado en tu calendario desde enero?
deja los americanistas, get excited right now. It's whatever they say, it's se emocionan, se emocionan. No, nosotros tranquilos, con ojos al trofeo, que es lo que importa.
Pero, a ver, so did you guys get to watch the America against Tigres game? Did y'all really get to sit down and watch the whole game, or no?
I watched the beginning a little bit. I wasn't
Okay.
able to watch.
So
the whole
I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but it wasn't so much of what America did this game. It was more what Tigres didn't do. I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but
No, completely.
Tigres,
Since leaving Ibáñez and ahora sí que en la banca.
Tigres, not only that, but Tigres defensively right now is not the best. El defensor más sólido que tenía la temporada pasada era Samir, el que viene de la liga inglesa, si no me equivoco, venía del del Watford de Inglaterra, de la segunda división. Creo que para mí ha sido más error de Tigres lo que le ha costado estos últimos partidos tantos puntos de ida y de visitante. Y para mí, el fútbol que está practicando ahorita Chivas, the soccer that Chivas is playing right now, it seems like it's a little superior, or they're more in sync with what the coach is wanting from them. No, and no like America. America, they're still trying to figure out this. He's still Dan Ortiz is still trying with Richard Sanchez, con Fidalgo is still kind of moving everything around a little bit. You see a different ves a Layun como carrilero derecho, después lo ves como lateral derecho, como lateral izquierdo, como volante por la izquierda. He's still trying things out and trying to figure out his best 11 for the liguilla. And I think to me, Paunovic and lo que es Chivas, el concepto de Chivas, I think they're more right now. They're more in sync with what the coach is wanting from them, and we also gotta understand Chivas contrató uno de los mejores en táctica fija entrenadores o auxiliares técnicos de la Liga Mexicana, y es el que ahorita se está encargando de dirigir todo eso. Si tú te fijas cuántos goles han llegado de cabeza por jugada prefabricada o tiro de esquina por parte de Chivas, creo que la mayoría han sido de esa manera. Entonces, we still got a lot to see from this team, and I think they're in a better moment coming towards the Clásico.
No, I definitely agree that Chivas is definitely depende más de su juego en conjunto, right? Than individualidades, because there's really not you know a lot of talent besides Pocho. I mean, who else would you say that, oh, this player could make a difference in a game? Ahora con Vega regresando, a lo mejor él también podría hacer lo mismo, but there's nobody else after that, man. And even it's gonna take a little bit for Vega to ahora sí que volver al ritmo futbolístico. And but si no fuera por ahora sí que esta idea que trajo Paunovic, I think that we would have been talking about the same thing in since the past few tournaments.
Y una cosa que discutimos al principio del torneo, ya no tanto ahorita, a Chivas se le complica más en casa que de visitante. Do you think that's gonna affect at all the Clásico? ¿O esos fantasmas ya no existen?
No, ahí siguen, mientras que no se saquen resultados, ahí van a estar. And I think that, yeah, Chivas, you know, could do a lot better at home. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it
Pero
doesn't.
es que también, like, we see all this, but at the end of the day, a clásico, it's a clásico, whether it's played locally or away. Los clásicos son difíciles de jugar. We've seen goleadas en el Estadio Jalisco en aquel entonces por parte de América y por parte de Chivas, al igual que goleadas en el Azteca por parte de los dos equipos. I think that this game exactly is played differently. It's one of those games that you put all dejas el nerviosismo atrás, you put all the intensity, you forget about whatever happened the rest of the past tournament, whatever is going to happen in the future on the future games. You live everything like if it's a final. And I think a lot of the players from Chivas right now are more understandable from to that perspective and to that idea, because of how long they've been with the team. And whether we want it or not, but Pocho Guzman was made in Chivas. He was from Fuerzas Básicas de Chivas all his time long. He understands the colors. He understands what's happening. He's identified with the colors of the team, with the crest. And right now is what you want. That captain is gonna inject in that passion and that power and that will of beating the America team in your locker room as a captain. And I don't think America right now has that player that would understand what this means. I mean, yeah, you have Emilio Lara, you have some players that kind of identify with the ideology of America, but I don't think in overall they complement each other as a team, as well as Chivas is and that's why I think to me that's a factor that will matter this game and this game only because it's played a lot different.
Okay, I mean, we'll see how that game goes. It's gonna be really exciting. Finally, seeing Chivas be at a good spot. Pero ya hablamos de los chiquitines. Ahora, ahora vamos a hablar de
Vamos a
los
hablar
grandes.
de Pumas.
Pumas.
Ay,
Cruz
Dios
Azul,
mío, Fernando.
Cruz Azul y Pumas. Yo vi el partido. I wish I hadn't, but I don't know what you guys think. I think Pumas needs to completely get rid of Rafa Puente, and I don't think Cruz Azul is doing much better tampoco. You know, like that they won, but I think it's more because of
It
how
was it
sucky
was a
Pumas
boring
is.
game.
It was. It was. I would say a boring first half and a half. Like you
I'll
know,
say a boring 70 minutes.
yeah, yeah. For the most part, it was boring. Uh,
But honestly, Fernando, do you think Rafa Puente or getting rid of sacking Rafa Puente, getting rid of him, is the solution?
well, I'm someone who likes blaming the coaches, right? As you can see with Tata Martino, I put the whole blame on him,
Ya tienes
and
pesadillas de Tata, ya olvídalo, Fernando. Él ya te
así es. No lo
olvidó.
voy a negar, no lo voy a negar. No me deja dormir a veces en la noche.
Él ya te olvidó, olvídalo.
Uh, I usually put the blame on coaches, but in this situation, I don't think Rafa is to blame. The game against Cruz Azul, yes, because the way he went in the game, he wanted to keep a tie. Like he didn't want to lose. He didn't go to win, but he just went to not
But
lose.
who do you have in your team that will make a difference? That will be the player that you'll be like, okay, so he put these players in the bench that will make a difference. That will I can actually help us win this game or
Well,
this title. Like
for the
if you see if you watch the game and you watch Pumas overall squad, to be honest with you, to me, it's a team that's built for ties. It's not a team that's built to win, to make it to La Liguilla. It's not a team that, not even with the players that they brought up from the youth squad. It's. I don't think it's all Rafa Puente. It's a Lilini had the same issue last season. I think yes, they got lucky in the couple of seasons before that when they made it all the way to quarterfinals or to round of 16. To me, it was more luck because if you watch some of the goals, it was the circumstances were when they were on favor. Now the odds were in favor of the forwards of Pumas, where they were just had a tap in or mistake from the defenders, stuff like that. And right now, you look at you look at the players that Pumas has on top and the players that Pumas has on the defense. Palermo Ortiz seemed like he was going towards the right direction, but now we see why he was left out from Monterrey, was why he didn't make it in Puebla. You know where I'm going with this, like la chispa de esos
yeah,
jugadores, la chispa de esos jugadores ya
the
se
little
les fue.
I think this tournament they have a better squad than many other tournaments. They are limited, that's true, but they have a better squad. There's two reasons why I don't blame the coach completely. Is because I mean he what's that Galindo. I can't the defender for
Yeah.
Pumas, right defender.
Mm-hmm.
He sucks. Like there's no other way to say it. He sucks, and he is the sole reason why in 2 or 3 games Pumas conceded a goal in the first 5 minutes. After that happens, it's es cuesta arriba. You know, when you're down 2-0 in the first 10 minutes, es muy difícil recuperarte de eso. And I mean, I feel like that's essentially lo que le afectó a Freire and al Palermo. They're good players, but if you have an incompetent player right next to you who's being the cause of the disaster that's Pumas, it affects you. It's definitely gonna affect you. And then the other situation that why I wouldn't blame Rafa Puente is because Dineno and Diogo just can't score. you have the Toto Salvio and Del Prete and really good players who are providing balls, something that Pumas didn't have for many years. But now the forwards can't score, and no matter what Rafa Puente does, if Dineno can't just tap in the ball, there's nothing he can do. If you go back against Atlas, against Tijuana, even against Puebla, if they would have just scored those easy, clear goals, Pumas would have at least been in the top eight. They would have been able to get some victories here and there, even though they don't have the best team, but they wouldn't be struggling so much right now. So that's why I don't blame
I
the
mean, they
coach
did had
completely.
a good beginning of the season. They really did. They had a by en la jornada para la jornada 4 llevan dos victorias y estaban posicionados en los puestos de arriba. Creo que para mí sí tienes mucha razón en que Dinero no puede meter un gol ni aunque esté jugando en contra de su sombra. But I think the biggest mistake of Pumas not only coaching staff or players. I think creo que la directiva didn't let those players go when they were supposed to. I think para mí el ciclo de dinero ya se cumplió en Pumas. I think they should have sold him either a season ago or 2 seasons ago when he was actually making goals and when Seattle Saunders asked for him when there was couple of teams asking for him and wanting to put some money into it. I think that hay jugadores que
Pues,
solamente llegan a brillar al cierto tiempo en algunos equipos y se van. I think that's the
pues
case
el Cruz
of
Azul
them.
lo sigue buscando, so we'll see what happens with that. Otra cosa que dice Gerardo Figueroa, la disciplina. Like la disciplina de Pumas ha sido horrible this year. I think there's only been like 3 games where they don't get a red card. So that's affected them. They never have a plantel completo como lo quisiera tener Rafa Puente. So I don't know if that's another thing that could get fixed. He also says, Gerardo Figueroa, I think Pumas has a good team, pero tiene que buscar el estilo como jugar. So yeah, that's another reason why Rafa Puente, 6 months, that's not enough for you to get into rhythm, get a style going.
Pero creo que el sistema de Rafa Puente no es malo. La ideología de Rafa Puente no es mala. I don't think he has the right players to execute it though. I don't think Pumas has the right players to execute that style because he's trying to play the same way that he played with Lobos Buap back in the day. But of course, you had Quiñones, you had Boto Quiñones, tenías a Esqueda, que era el contención, tenías a jugadores que no eran de un gran renombre, pero eran básicos para ese estilo de juego. And I think right now you see all these changes from squad from one week to another from Rafa Puentes because he's still trying to figure out which ones are the right players for his system. But the squad of Pumas is so limited that you can only do so much.
And let's not forget about Cruz Azul here too, because I mean Pumas jugó contra un equipo que también it was coming back, like and tenía un buen momento. I know they lost the previous game, but it's like eh, you know son que ya son 5 partidos that que solo son 4, no han ganado 4 de los últimos 5. So I think la llegada de Tuca también aquí está tomando un poquito de efecto, ¿no? I mean, even though that they
Bueno,
had two won games where Tuca was not on the bench, out of the past 5, but I think that ya se están como que coming back, están metiéndose ahí ya en
Bueno,
un momento de liguilla
no mucho.
moment,
Tampoco creo que sea tanto, porque en el partido contra Pumas, Cruz Azul fue superior, but not by that
Hey,
much. I feel like
it's Tuca style, man. You know how Tuca is.
that's true. That's true. So Cruz Azul aprovechó ese momento where, or Tuca aprovechó ese momento that knows that could end up giving the victory. So they had a terrible game because I don't think it was that great either. I mean, you said it when the game was boring, but he managed to find that ventanita where Cruz Azul scored in the last few minutes.
But you guys are lucky too
Uh,
that Cruz Azul tiene un jugador like Antuna, because otherwise, si ese güey tuviera puntería, we would have been talking about a 3-0 at least.
yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Antuna did miss a lot, thank God, but I mean, he is the goleador for Cruz Azul though, so I don't know.
I mean, pero
Um,
goleador por Cruz Azul, un equipo que tiene el tanque Morales, que te las falla enfrente de la portería y le da el poste a un metro, medio metro. O sea,
Yes, that's true. So
no
yeah,
sé.
I guess
man,
we could have talked about a ahora sí que una masacre aquí, and we're talking about a boring game. So it could have been, si tuvieran puntería estos morros, could have been, yeah, a lot different.
yeah. Well, let's go on to the schedule for the upcoming week. Real quick, Ingerroot says that Tata lives rent free. Fernando said, "Yeah, that's true. Tata does give me nightmares. I can't get over it." But okay. The Friday games: Puebla against Atlas, Tijuana Toluca, and Mazatlán Necaxa. Uh, Muertitos. Uh, except Toluca. I think that's an easy game for Toluca. Um, Saturday, Cruz Azul San Luis, Tigres Monterrey, the best. Well, actually, no, because Chivas America. It's gonna be a great Saturday. Two of the best games of the jornada. Pero el mejor llega el domingo Pumas Pachuca.
A las 12 del mediodía.
Querétaro Juárez. Sí, para que todos estén despiertos con una chelita. Y León Santos. It's filled with great games.
I mean,
Which ones are you guys looking forward to?
me being from siendo regiomontano, I'm looking forward for el clásico regiomontano Tigres Monterrey. For me specifically, because I lived there, and I've seen how the game is so passionate in ese estado de la República. I see how even businesses and like big commercial employees and stuff like that stop working, and they during those 2 hours they only dedicate themselves to watch that game. La ciudad se paraliza completamente si miras the game, but there's two great games going on, el clásico regio y el clásico nacional. I think those two games are the ones that everybody's going to be looking at this weekend.
Yeah, that's definitely. Let's talk about el clásico regio. What's up with this? They're always like, ahora sí que se están guardando jugadores to come into this super clásico. Do you guys agree with that?
¿Cómo que guardando jugadores?
O sea que no juegan con su mejor plantilla supuestamente.
So
para el clásico.
So there's there's this thing going on in Monterrey where always either the player that's playing the best soccer in either both teams either gets injured or gets a red card a game before, or during the tournament, during the training sessions gets injured and he can't really play. But yes, it is true. Este es el juego que define la continuidad de los entrenadores la mayoría del tiempo en Tigres y en Rayados. Este es el juego que te dicen, lo marcas en tu calendario, hasta al igual que yo que estuve en Fuerzas Básicas de Tigres por un rato. Desde Fuerzas Básicas se te inculca. O sea, sí, nuestro objetivo es llegar a la liguilla, pero nuestro segundo objetivo del torneo es ganarle a Rayados. So it's one of those, it's super passionate. If you guys ever haven't had a chance to live a clásico regiomontano, I recommend it. Even scrimmages here in the United States, especially here in Texas where I live in San Antonio, they bring those two teams to play un pequeño clásico que se termina siendo clásico de fuerzas básicas porque los jugadores titulares solamente juegan 10 minutos, 15 minutos. It still gets real passionate in the streets, and it's one of those games where people in Monterrey and even the players become obsessed with, especially the players that they've been in el plantel for a while already.
Well, definitely. I mean, I did notice that se queda Ibañez la banca. Funes Mori también no jugó, ¿verdad? O me equivoco, Edwin.
Jugó el segundo tiempo.
Yeah. But anyways,
Al igual que
I
Ibáñez.
guess,
Ibáñez entró en el segundo tiempo en Tigres América.
yeah. So, entonces, una estrategia
it's gonna.
que, es buena si quieres llegar al clásico con tus mejores jugadores ahora sí que,
Pero aparte también tienes que entender que el equipo de Tigres tiene la CONCACAF, que no nada más es el único torneo que están jugando la liga. Tienes que tratar de estabilizar y analizar un poco mejor tu estrategia para darle un poco de descanso a esos jugadores importantes del plantel.
Sí, para ti, bueno, de los dos clásicos, los 4 equipos, el único que tiene partido esta semana es Tigres. Y es un partido complicado. It's not gonna be an easy game. So I think that could potentially tire them out for el clásico regio.
I mean, it's against Orlando, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing to me. To me, it's more fascinating how Tigres couldn't get an advantage in their home against a team that barely started the season.
Yeah, and if the possession for Tigres, was superior. They had so many more shots on goal, and considering that they have Ibanez and Guignac, who started the game, and I think almost played the whole thing, that they should have at least gotten one goal. And now te complicas la vuelta.
But like you said, I
With,
mean, it's Orlando. I mean, even here in Florida, it's gonna be the same thing. I don't think that they're gonna. Oh, there's gonna have so much home advantage.
Nuestro amigo Ingle Roots nos dice, "What's up with Linus?" Pues nothing. What's up with you?
No, pues es que se le suben los humos a Lainez, I mean, ahí
I think
he gets frustrated.
Linus has been a completely different player.
That's the thing. I don't think he's a starter just yet. I think maybe he el Chima makes a mistake this game putting him from the start. Quiso hacer el efecto del ex, I mean, poner a Córdoba and a Lainez at the same in the game from the start. So I don't know if that was such a good idea.
Creo que mucha gente me va a odiar con lo que voy a decir, pero para mí Lainez es un jugador para Mazatlán, para el Atlas, un jugador para el Necaxa, para ese tipo de equipos. La verdad, en mi opinión, yo nunca he defendido a Lainez y nunca he sido partidario de Lainez, ni desde que estaba en América, ni cuando estaba en Betis, ni cuando se fue al Braga. Para mí, Lainez es un jugador de clase B, clase C+. I don't think it's that great. Para mí es un Jürgen Damm más chaparro. Así se los pongo.
No seas culé, güey.
La verdad.
Regardless, I still think he made a mistake by going to Tigres. Regardless of whether he's good or not.
Lo querías para
America
Pumas,
had already. No Pumas. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
¿A dónde? Then where?
What?
¿Dónde? Ya no tiene cabida en ningún lado, mi chavo.
América lo quería y le dijo, vente para acá. And then the line said, no, you're not going to pay me enough. America already sent him to Europe once. Whether he was ready or not, but they sent him to Europe.
Pero es que a ver, Fernando, if you buy yourself an apple for $1 and then another kid comes and tells you, hey, let me buy you that, let me buy off of you that apple for $5. You don't think you're gonna sell it? You're not gonna resell it?
Depends of my options for the future.
So you want to save that apple
for your future? You can buy 5 apples with those $5, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened with Lainez. If America no le costó nada, bueno, no le costó nada Lainez, porque Lainez sale de Pachuca como jugador de fuerzas básicas y se va directo a la América. Después de ahí, no te cuesta nada, llega el Betis y te dice, te doy 10, 11 millones por un jugador que tuvo una liguilla buena, pero que no fue consistente en partidos, y más la insistencia del padre, que es el agente de Lainez, que está diciendo, oh, mi hijo está para Europa, mi hijo es esto, mi hijo es el siguiente Messi mexicano, esto y esto otro. Entonces, si tú eres América y escuchas una oferta de 10, 11 millones del Betis de España, ¿no lo venderías?
Yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is that for Linus, if whether he's a good player or not, if he wants to have Europe in his future, the best thing to do is go back to America, the team that already sent you once. When was the last Tigres? When was the last time Tigres sent somebody to Europe?
Listen, man, Linus is
Coming
not
back to
going
Europe, he's
back to
gonna get
Europe
stuck.
anytime soon or ever.
I don't
I
think
think
Lainez is
that
going
he's
But
back to
with
Europe, ever.
but with America, he had a better chance than Tigres. Whether it's gonna happen or not, you want to position yourself somewhere where your chances are higher than the other place. And
it's just
the truth is that for any player who wants to go to Europe, their chances of leaving are better in America than Tigres.
it's just like Edwin said, man. I mean, le ofrecieron más billete, and that's it. And I think that that's probably wrong with in his head there. The same thing happened when he went to Europe. He had on the table he had Ajax or Betis, and he chooses Betis.
Pero bueno, ahí también tuvo mucho que ver la conversación que tuvo con Andrés Guardado,
Claro, he
la
went,
influencia
but
que tuvo Andrés Guardado con él.
he made a mistake. He made a big mistake.
I think his short career has been a series of bad decisions, which let's hope que no le cuesten el resto de su carrera. But we'll see.
Mira,
Gerardo Figueroa says, quick question, la MLS va creciendo, no se va a hacer la segunda división o va a crecer como la Liga MX, luego desaparecen los equipos. En México tienen muchos estados muy bonitos, pero no hay equipo.
okay, I don't know if you want to answer this question or not, Fernando or you, Super, but there is a second division in US.
Yeah, I think what he meant is the whole relegation,
and there isn't. I
mean,
mean,
there is. I mean, there are two separate businesses.
Yeah,
it's USL. It's a separate business from MLS as the same as MLS is a separate business from the US Soccer Federation. But it is a second division. At the end of the day, it is still considered a second division. Yeah, MLS says MLS2 and Pro and all that stuff, but it considered as a second division already structured. USL is what it is. I don't think the plan for MLS right now is having relegation and all that stuff anytime soon. They're actually trying to expand into more teams and in a better, bigger league than this. They're thinking about bringing 4 more teams, 2 to each different confederation, and I don't see that happening anytime soon.
And I don't think it will happen. I don't think that they'll have a relegation. Because it's like every other sport in the U.S. They are businesses and they are structured. Es una liga bien estructurada. That look at NFL. How many teams and how many conferencias, and I think I see them doing that more than having relegation. Splitting them in 4 instead of 2 divisions. So.
Well, the thing is that I feel like MLS goal is to become one of the top leagues in the world, and they have the resources to do that. But one of the things that would make you one of the best leagues in the world is to add relegation and promotion. Without
Not
that, you're never
necessarily.
gonna be able to take that step.
Not necessarily. If you have
well, I mean, we've criticized Liga MX for getting rid of the relegation system, and said that that's the reason why, or one of the reasons why Liga MX is mediocre. But the MLS doesn't have it.
But it's because of the way. But it's because of the way the Liga MX is structured. In Mexico, you don't have the same equality as in resources and money as you do in MLS. MLS, they
Yes.
get paid equally the los derechos, the TV rights. They get paid equally, sponsoring brands and all that stuff. I mean, you see just in uniforms, MLS, all the MLS teams use Adidas. They're
Yeah,
not
there's
a
a
there's
country. It's a one. It's like I said. It's very well structured. It's very
it's a
well like organized.
it's a business. At the end of the day, it is a business. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
sport that's converted into a business, just the same way
Y,
as NBA, just
y hay
the same
billete.
way as NFL, all that stuff.
Hay billete. Let's remember. I mean, what to have a franchise, you have like at least $200 million, right? I mean, to have a franchise, and it's like it's not like in Mexico that me deben 6 meses de sueldo, no, y luego hay una asociación de jugadores, an actual asociación de jugadores,
Hay
no como la de
asociación de
los compadres,
árbitros, hay
no
una
como la de los compadres de México, and everything's like more organized. Everything's like legit. It's not, you don't need relegation when you have something that is well organized and they take everything serious.
Well, we'll see where MLS ends up. Uh, we're near the end of the show, and I wanted to talk about CONCACAF Champions League. Any thoughts on what happened with the Mexican teams last week? Uh, do you
I
see
mean,
do you see any of them winning the Coca
I
Champions?
mean, the,
Or since Pumas lost last year, is going downhill?
the only surprise to me was Atlas losing 4-0.
Yeah, that one was a big one, man.
That's the only surprise to me. I mean,
You know,
Pachuca ties 0-0, Tigres ties 0-0. Who else played?
Leon won. That's the only
Leon
one
won
that
1-0. So it's still the same, man. I think CONCACAF, desgraciadamente, está estructurada para que los equipos de MLS y los equipos de Liga MX lleguen a las finales y se juegue así, y se juegue la final entre ellos y se define entre ellos. Ya vimos la final pasada cuando el Seattle Sounders le gana a Pumas, pero antes de eso, hasta antes de eso era un dominio mexicano. So I don't see any of that either changing from MLS to Liga MX. I don't see anything new. I mean, you see whatever happened with Austin FC against the team from Haiti. Their only 12 players were able to come to Austin due to their visa issues, and they had a find a fifth division team and hire actually 5 players from five division team, 5 or 6 players from a fifth division team to be able to have a full squad of 18 to present against that team. And I'm probably sure that even those fifth division teams are better fitted than the players that came from Haiti.
yeah. So I mean, there's not much to talk about like CONCACAF. Like you said, it's all, eventually I think this, ahora sí que en esta jornada que se viene, we're gonna see everything fall back into their, in its place. It's except Atlas, que ahí sí ya no tiene ni, ya no tiene ni ya
I
ni,
mean, they
¿cómo
do
se
play.
dice?
They do play in El Jalisco, and we could have a miracle. You never know. You always. I mean, it's a team from Haiti, brother. Like it's not.
no, not
Oh
the
no, no, no.
Atlas
It's a
not playing
it's a
No, de
team
pleno
from.
Olimpia.
Es el
Olympia.
Olimpia. Perdóname. I mean, either way, I don't. No offense to any of our fans from Honduras or anything like that, but it's just not. It's not a team que sea muy exigente, la verdad. La mayoría de los goles del Olimpia fueron errorzazos de la defensa del Atlas, ¿eh?
Pero pues, el Atlas tampoco es un equipo que ande muy bien ahorita.
Pues
So,
no, pero pues en tu casa, con tu gente, con tus jugadores. A mí, Julián Quiñones, el mayor problema del Atlas ahorita es el vestidor. El vestidor está completamente roto. Hay jugadores que no se hablan entre ellos. no encuentra un 11. Julián Quiñones no quiso entrar a jugar en contra del equipo del Olimpia en los últimos minutos. Le dijo al entrenador que no iba a entrar y que él se iba a quedar sentado. Se pasa esa imagen en televisión, está el video. Para mí creo que el mayor problema ahorita no es en sí el equipo contra el que va a jugar, es en sí encontrar a los jugadores, porque a este entrenador que venía de la Liga de Finlandia, que había sido uno de los mejores entrenadores de la Liga de Finlandia, donde él había sido pentacampeón, había llegado a semifinales de la Champions asiática o indonesia, no sé qué dónde fregados andaba ya el carnal, pero no se da cuenta uno porque la misma baraja de entrenadores siempre se van entre los equipos, porque desgraciadamente le cuesta al entrenador mexicano poder consolidarse en primera división, y estamos viendo eso en el ejemplo con el entrenador del Atlas.
Gerardo Figueroa se estrega en la Libertadores y que entra a la MLS.
I mean, they got invited. The MLS and Liga MX got invited to be participant of La Libertadores. I think, if I'm not mistaken, about a year ago or 2 years ago, cuando entraron todas las pláticas, but they both said no because they're in talks with like super mega liga between them.
No,
Which is not a bad idea, though.
Now, if you're talking about corrupción, I mean, viene la Libertadores and, una liga que no le gusta
Para que los
perder.
equipos mexicanos lleguen a la final otra vez y les piten mal y les regalen la final en contra de los sudamericanos.
Exactamente, no les gusta perder.
El único equipo que lo logró fue Pachuca, y fue porque en realidad el partido no fue tan polémico, fue más como fue más de ida y vuelta,
una cátedra,
fue más así, fue donde Pachuca tenía los mejores jugadores de la Liga Mx en ese entonces.
Bueno, pues let's hope the Mexican teams find their way on this upcoming week for the CONCACAF Champions, and all 4 of them go through, just so there could be more chances for a Mexican team to
para
win
que repitamos lo de Pumas la temporada pasada.
Well, Seattle Sounders is a good team, so I don't see why it's such a surprise that Pumas lost.
El Union se la lleva este año, acuérdense. Filadelfia. Yes.
Okay, we'll go back to this little video when they don't.
But, el supermercado le dicen, vamos a decir ya mejor.
Acuérdense de mí, Philadelphia Union Champion.
Supermercado. Okay. Well, time is up. Any last thoughts for the upcoming week? Starting with you.
Well, thank you guys for having me again. We'll see you next week. Well, I'm looking forward para ver los dos clásicos, para ver ahora sí qué cuero salen más correas y a ver qué clásico es el mejor, si el clásico regio o el clásico nacional.
0-0 los dos.
Estamos apoyando con todas las Chivas para este partido. Soy Chiva hermano.
Chiva hermanos ahí. No se diga más.
Ándale.
Eso es todo.
Órale. Ya, después de los clásicos está el mejor partido, Pachuca Pumas.
Sí. Ándale.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next week.